With this simple configuration, we're going to find 4 models lately: Popular, Secretary, pocketpal, and Excelsior. Let's see them all in this video. We're taking a plane to Spain and going right now to Victorinox Popular, reference 2070S. A knife made of 84mm aluminum handles with this checkered grooved texture that doesn't have a shield on either side. Only 3 uses: the small blade, the large blade, and the ring. Manufactured between 1957 and 1975. You can see the Linux marking there and that it's barely, that is, very light. It has a weight that we'll see right away. Well, look, it barely exceeds 22 grams, very light, and very simple. A minimalist knife to the max.
This is the Secretary. The Secretary, an 84mm single-layer knife with Alox handles, in this case red, plain Alox and without a ring. Small blade, the largest blade, and in this case it's an advertising blade for a company called Cryobact, which deals with these bubble plastics, the ones that you squeeze when you get nervous. It's a very small, very light knife, similar in width to a baker's knife, quite cool. Victorinox Ecoline 2.6901. This is the Excelsior model with 2 blades with a ring, but with a red nylon handle. It has large blades with a rotary marker and a small or victory blade. Its measurements are 84mm by 19mm wide and 9mm thick, and it weighs 22 grams. Back to Juju, Argentina, and we'll go with the models that are missing from Celador. Celador handles without a ring. The Pocket P model. Same configuration. Identification number 0.6900. We're going to take it to the dealer's scale and the weight is 23.3. Same configuration again, but in this case with a ring. And the name of this one is Excelsior, identification number 0.6901. Dealer's scale and the weight is 23.5 grams. The ring adds very little. Here I have it in the case, 0.6901.16 Excelsior Alox silver in the same configuration, same. Let's see, let's put the one that's outside. (21.5 grams). And here we have ITER's, which was 0.6900.10 in the case that it's red, or 16.16 when it's silver, but without a ring. Well, this one is also an advertisement. I know what the advertisement is, but I'm pretending that it's my advertisement, but I don't live in Indiana. Let's weigh the Secretary that doesn't have a ring, it's the 21.3. One that we'll see later in the timeline when we tell the story is this model, and then I'll tell you why it's so special. apart from having the handles that give way a little bit, but let's see how much it weighs. 30.3. Okay, once we've weighed all these, let's see the story. Like most of these sizes, the Victorinox number 70 would start coming out in the 1920s. There this knife would come in different handles, mainly celluloid, Elidor, imitations. We'll go over that later, but before we get to that, I want to show you this knife from the namesake, Juan Manuel Barrero, which is from the 1930s. This beauty is the number 70 quart. I'm going to give you a good introduction to the nomenclature and let's see what this knife is all about. There we can see the markings. I'm also going to include a photo so that you can better see this marking that was used between approximately 1937 and 1946. There we have the small blade, the handles are beautiful and it shows the two uses. As I told you, we're going to review the nomenclature of the knives. I had already mentioned it in the 74mm score model, but let's review it. We have Alox, obviously first the number, in this case 70, and there's a lowercase b, which is blue-green Alox. A lowercase g, which is gold-colored Alox. A lowercase r plus a red Alox with a cross. We have CT, which is celluloid or Celidor, imitation care like this one we saw, and also CP, which is celluloid or Celidor imitation Nicar. In Celidor or celluloid it would be a capital C, a lowercase r plus h is with a legitimate up. ST is machine engraved stainless steel. A capital P is legitimate Nicar. Gold, the entire word gold, legitimate 14-karat gold. It has a clamp and toothpicks. And a U that has a ring. But be very careful with the U, because the 70UU that appears in the 4647 catalog has a 70UU, which is a watch blade that we will see in a couple of weeks. Here we can see the number 70 and the 70UU, so there may be some confusion. We reached the 50s and I am going to show you this number 70C capital letter R+. One thing we noticed in this model is that the Celidor, which is second generation, continues to deform, although it is no longer as flammable nor does it generate gases that deteriorate the blade. Another thing we are going to see, let's see, I'll put it on this side, is that it is from the Hoffritz distributor. And if you can't see it well, I'm going to put a photo here. And on the other side you can see the Victoria much better. The liners are from Lat. You can see it well, half yellow. There you see it, perfect. From the back too. So, this is the 70CR model. Plus. Let's start looking at the names of the knives chronologically and then we'll look at those special editions that aren't in any catalog. So we're going into the 60s where we'll be able to see the ringless Elidor model, which is called the Handy Boy. Meanwhile, the ringless model in silver-plated fluted Alox is called the Excelsior. I
Don't understand.
How they're going to know if they're just playing around playing games, but it doesn't matter, that's why I'm here to tell you. Yes, it was called the Extensi and that's how it was until the mid-80s, so now you know, here it is in silver without a ring. It's the first Excelsior. In the 70s we'll see in this catalog that the popular one, here it is in red, could also come in silver. It's the model with a Alox here on the side, but with a ring. And down there we see the Excelsior in silver without a ring. And in the same catalog we will find it for the first time with the pocketpal, which is an Enelador without a ring. Also in a catalog of Alox models we will find number 70. We have the 2070S, which is the silver fluted model, and the 2070U uppercase, which means it has a ring. Lowercase r, which is a Alox, and the +1 has a cross. And thinking about the model that Jesus showed, it would be a 2070U uppercase S lowercase. That catalog that I like so much, which is the SMCO, the distributor for Canada, showed the 4 models. There we can see the pocket Palelador without a ring. The Excelsior is below, which would be in silver fluted Alox without a ring. We see the Secretary in smooth Alox without a ring, and below it fluted Alox with a ring, the popular one in red. The year 1989 has a catalog that shows us wonders. For example, this Nart series, where among several models is the Pocket P, and in the same catalog we are going to see the Scout Cab model in blue. The Scout Cap model appeared in 1989 and then in a specialized catalog for Scouts in 1999. Let's see that name that said AOR, the body, the Victorinox body, which is the same Secretary, that is, in Alox smooth without a ring, although the name Secretary would appear once again in 2003 in silver in this catalog, and that's where the changes come. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. It does get confusing in 2006 because we can see that the Excelsior model appears as having a ring-type knife, but what used to be the Pocket P appears without a name as a variant, and also a variant of the one we saw last week, the Sentry, the one with a single blade. Okay, but in 2008 it gets worse because the Excelsior appears. The name Excelsior in a ring-type folder and as variants. Apart from what used to be the Pocket P without a name in this catalog, the Sentry also without a name, and the Alox Conocine in silver, also without a name, but as a variant before the Excelsior model, and directly in 2011 they are called Excelsior. By 2015 only the models with a ring would remain in the catalog, that is, what used to be the Pocket P is no longer there. Neither is the one that is the Secretary, the soft Alox without a ring, and only the Encidor model would remain. And in Alicata with a ring. And in 2021 these 2 models plus the single-leaf Excelsior will be discontinued. In the description of the video I will also leave you where you can download the catalogs for free if you want to see what I just said, also the source where I get the information and also my PayPal in case you want to contribute to the channel that is hard. And if you don't want to use PayPal, you can also do it in the super thanks, in the same comments. And if you don't want to, in the comments, you can be members of this channel where you will have exclusive broadcasts and on top of that, you are in the WhatsApp group, so we can stay in touch. And if you don't like any of the alternatives, but at least you liked this video, give it a good like and that's it. After so much trouble, I want to tell you the criteria suggested by this channel. Let's call pocketpal the knives. I'm talking about all those after the 60s. I would call pocketpad the knife that doesn't have a ring. With this configuration, always in Elor without a ring. Let's call secretary the knife in Aloquave without a ring. We're also going to call the ones that have Alox here next to it with a ring popular. And they will be Excelsior, the Codecador with a ring, the soft Alox with a ring. And the silver grooved Alox without a ring. And now let's talk about the special knives, those that don't appear in any catalog. Let's start with the serrational or closed knives. Here we have a black pocket blade, I don't know if it was in red, and on the other hand, there's the serrated secretary. Both weren't in any catalog that I know of. If you know of any, let me know in the comments. Then we have these two from the Blade of Africa collection. And finally, we're going to have these soft bore analogs, which are from Switzerland, and the namesake Juan Manuel Barrero is showing us the Cermat one. There are several reasons, but he's showing us the CERMAT one. Finally, I want to tell you that if you liked this configuration, don't forget to watch the video of the 69mm Victorinox number 42 in this video. And if you want to see the 75mm one, which is the 50th, watch this one.